Hey everybody, we are here again on Sunday doing a little special video. Me and Chris both have some time. So we're going to knock out a couple more teams in our win totals series that we do. But we're going to knock out 5 teams today, and they're all perennial bottom feeders. So we're going to start with Vanderbilt. Chris, actually, before we get into that, did you want to add anything to the
I think the randomness of this is just because all of a sudden now we want to get through all the teams we've decided.
Yeah.
And we might bail on this at some point. And the best way to do it is just to do 5 teams real quick, knock some out, do it randomly.
Yeah.
It's middle of June. What else do we have left to do, So
I was thinking, like, when we started this, I was like, I'd like to do a good majority of the teams. If we don't get all 130, was it 1 now?
131, yeah.
Like, if we get through 100 of them, I'd be happy. Like, if we miss a few here and there,
let's see what happens.
But we got 5. We're gonna do 5 today. If we did every weekend, we did 5, like 5 just teams that just run through them real quick, we could knock out a pretty good chunk. So with that, anything else, we are going to go ahead and jump in. We're gonna start with Vanderbilt, and I'll pull up the schedule right here. So they open up at Hawaii. Now, did we do Hawaii already or no? I don't think we did.
I don't think we have, but I do want to ask. We're not going to spend a ton of time on each team, obviously, because obvious reasons. But do we think Vandy's ever going to be good? And by definition, what is good for Vandy?
I think 5 wins is good for Vandy.
Yeah, I was thinking like
bowl
if they
eligible
make a bowl game. It's like
bowl eligible would be good. 5 would be like, okay, they're not terrible.
Things are only going to get worse, though, right? Because they're adding Oklahoma and Texas, so now it's even more good teams. Like we're not adding bad teams to this conference. So I was talking to someone yesterday about just conference expansion for SEC, adding those 2 teams, and in my head I was like, man, Vanderbilt's never going to win games,
right?
So that's why I asked. But yeah, I think we have not done Hawaii. But I have a hard time thinking. I mean, Hawaii is pretty bad, though. But it's at Hawaii.
At Hawaii, late. I mean, that's like, what's that? Like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Vandy time?
No, well, it's 10:30 Eastern. It's 10:30 Eastern.
Oh, 10:30 Eastern. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 Eastern, so it's still late for but not a
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if that matters too much. I think it's 2 bad teams playing against each other. But Hawaii going complete like run and shoot air raid type like might be a lot for Vandy.
Yeah. I mean,
especially week 1 when you're not going to see that the rest of the year probably.
Yeah, so, you're not really practicing that super heavy for the fact that like nobody's really going to run that type except maybe like Mississippi State, but I doubt it doesn't look like they play them.
No, I don't think so.
This feels like a 50-50, right? Like if this was at Vandy, I would definitely lean Vandy, but
I don't think I'd have a problem taking Vandy if they were at home. But this one, like you said, 50-50. I'm gonna give them the loss here.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I strictly is just because it's at Hawaii. Like I think that's the only reason.
Who knows if they're going to come to play? They'll be excited for week 1, but it's a pretty sweet trip they have. So I think
it's like a vacation. It's a vacation, and then they play their first game. They play their first game really the next week against Elon, and I would imagine they get the win.
Man, if they don't win that, they're in trouble.
So they'll be 1-1, and then they get Wake Forest, which has got to be an L.
Yeah, this is gonna be quick because
that could be 63-7. Like I think that could be one of those big.
Once we hit the conference, this is going to go pretty quick.
Yeah. Now, this is another interesting one. At Northern Illinois, we talked about them when we did, who did we do? Kent State, I think.
Yeah.
Like Northern Illinois is another one of those teams that was bad last year that we expect to be a little better than they were last year, right? Weren't they bad? Was that maybe that wasn't them.
No, that might have been Ball State or something.
Ball State. Okay. See, I get a lot of the MAC teams kind of confused. Miami, Ohio, Ball State, Northern Illinois, all kind of together. But Northern Illinois is going to be tough, especially on the road.
They're going to control the ball too, right? Like they have great running back group. They have that's Rocky Lombardi, right? Then you have
Mhm.
Trayvon Rudolph. Like, I think just
Ontario Brown,
logistic,
right?
yeah, and Whaley. And logistically, I just don't think, this is probably their next best chance at winning, but I don't see it.
Unfortunately, well, you know what? I'm okay with giving them the win since we gave them a loss at Hawaii, because I don't see them be a lot of wins on the schedule otherwise.
I feel good about winning one of Hawaii and NIU.
That's
Both of
what I'm
them on
saying.
the road is a little difficult, but
That's what I'm saying. But we gave them a loss against Hawaii, so I'm cool with giving them the win here.
Yeah, we can do a win there. So 2, and then it's just a free.
And then they get the bloodbath at Bama, which loss. And then they go to get their bye week to rest up to play Ole Miss, which I don't think that's basically the same game. They're just going to get completely overrun.
Yeah.
The Ole Miss defense may not be as good, but still, like, they're going to score 60 on them and be done. At Georgia, God, they go at Alabama, by Ole Miss, at Georgia.
Yeah,
I could see. Question of those 3 games, what's the combined score for Vanderbilt? Like the whole.
I mean, you're looking at 52-3.
I'm looking at 150-10.
49-17, and then Georgia's going to be 49-0, right? Like, so
that's what I'm saying.
You're looking at about 150-20.
20. Yeah, God. All right, so we go loss, right?
Yeah.
So then they go at Missouri.
I don't care how. I mean, Missouri is bad, but they're not that bad. I shouldn't say they're bad. They're just not.
It sucks for Vandy that all the bad teams, quote unquote bad teams, they play on the road.
Yeah, it's not great.
So you've kind of eliminated the advantage that you would have of being 2 bad teams, like to tilt in your favor. I'm giving them a loss at Missouri. They get a second bye week. Yep. Then they go to they get South Carolina at home, which is interesting. I don't think they beat them because it's so uncertain with South Carolina right now. We talked about it, I think, last night. Like, you got Spencer Rattler. You got a lot of talent that's come in to South Carolina. Does it all mesh and gel in year 1? I still think it's better than Vandy.
Yeah, it doesn't need to mesh. Beamer's got them moving in the right direction. Like, they won games last year they shouldn't have won, feels like, right? Like, they had, wasn't it the GA? The GA at quarterback, and they were still winning some games. So, like, I can't imagine that, right? Like, I don't see another win on the board here. At Kentucky, like, Kentucky's probably the next closest to a win.
I don't think they beat at Kentucky, no.
Like
I said, all the bad teams are on the road.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they win an SEC game.
Florida, no. Tennessee,
no. Like, unfortunately, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Tennessee, and I'll even throw Florida in there, are all going to put up 40+ on them. And I don't think Vandy's got enough to score 30 on anybody.
Yeah, this isn't going to be pretty. This is going to be a rough year.
So, like, it's possible. You're looking at the SEC schedule, and I'd be shocked in the SEC if they score 80 points in the SEC this year.
I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't know enough to be able to say something like that,
but like, you think about it, Alabama, how many points realistically do you think Vandy scores? They might get a garbage time touchdown, and maybe I'll give them that where they could get 7 there. Ole Miss, they might get 17, like you said. Okay. Georgia, I'm not giving them more than 7. And I'm being very generous here because I'm not sure they score on Georgia or Alabama, but
I think they could score on Alabama. Georgia that's a hard no.
Yeah.
Their offense is pretty weak, right? Like, their best receiver was Cam Johnson. He's gone. He transferred.
That's what I'm saying. How are you going to score points on these teams?
I just don't see it.
Their chance for a win, like you said, is in that stretch of Missouri, South Carolina, Kentucky. Like, that's
for
their
an
chance.
SEC win.
If they're going to get an SEC win, that's where they're going to have to get one. But in recapping them, we have one,
a soft 2,
2. We have them winning 2 games. So 2-10. We need Andrew here for the actual.
I got
total.
it. I got it. That's why I was kind of
nice.
looking at the side here. So
nice.
What would you guess it is?
I would say it's going to be 3.5.
Oh my gosh! If it was 3.5, I'd put my mortgage on it.
What is it?
It's 2.5 with heavy juice. Heavy juice on the under, minus 175.
So we're right on then.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, considering we have 2 iffies and a for sure.
Well, I think there's only give 3 them credit. Like they're seeing something that maybe we don't. Like maybe they give them
3 winnable games. Period. Like that's it. Right.
I was thinking, okay, they give them Hawaii, they give them Elon, and they give them Northern Illinois. The rest would be losses, and maybe you take the chance that they win one of those games to go over 3.5. But it's 2.5. It's even better. And so that means we're accurate. We're dead on with our analysis. So I will put 2 in here. And what's going to be funny is if everybody can see our win total sheet. We can post it again. I can post it in the comments or the description of this video on YouTube after we're done. But after the season, we're going to go in and there's another column that says actual wins, and we'll put like what they actually did win throughout the season. So it'll make it to see how we are. And then next year we'll know to go put all our money on our bets because we know we're so good. So either that or we're just terrible. Oh, real quick, this is not really related to this. So we have our dynasty draft going, and we have a guy that's autoed like 6 picks in a row, and they're all quarterbacks. Well, I told him I could undo the last one, and he says, "Can you undo the last 6 rounds?"
I don't think that's possible.
No, I can do
his most recent quarterback's probably the one that I would want the most out of them.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I'm going to undo the last one real quick. Just what other team did we want to? What was the next team you want to do?
We were looking at maybe like a new. You just highlighted them, right? You highlighted them on the sheet. I think we were looking at like New Mexico.
New Mexico. What the heck is this ad? Close. All right. New Mexico. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. All right, let me undo his pick, and then we can do that. All right. All right, so he's undone.
And we're back. New Mexico. Admittedly, don't know a whole lot about New Mexico. I mean, what did they win last year? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
I'll take a quick look.
I'll pull it up right here. 2021. So they had 1, 2, 3 wins. They beat Houston Baptist, New Mexico State, and Wyoming.
Didn't they play New Mexico State twice or no? Did I make that up?
No, that was who did they play twice? They did play somebody twice though. Like UMass or something, right?
Or UMass played New Mexico State twice, yeah.
No, they played Hawaii twice. New Mexico State played Hawaii twice and lost both times.
Because we got to see that one twice. They're surprisingly on TV way too much.
Right.
Like they legit have 8 games on TV.
Mm-hmm. All right. New Mexico opening up against Maine. I don't know what Maine really looks like in terms of talent. And I don't even know if they were good last year, but let me pull it up. No, I can't pull up Maine, but I'm going to give them a win because I'm not sure where else I'm going to give them one.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to pull up Maine real quick on the back end, but Maine beat UMass last year, if that changes your mind on anything.
Not really.
Let's see.
I'm loving this 3-game stretch coming up, though. But Maine, I'm going to give them the win. I think I have to.
I mean, Maine did win 6 games.
I just don't know.
A lot of bad teams in here.
If I don't give them a win against Maine, I can't give them a win against anyone else on their schedule.
It's a true statement. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, Maine's got to travel all the way to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Different time zones.
On Labor Day, yeah. It's just New Mexico's got to open up with a win because I think they lose the next week against Boise. Just from pure talent standpoint, I think Boise's if Boise's not really great, I think they should win. Now UTEP, that's interesting. UTEP's kind of been slowly on the rise, not to be a power or anything, but I think they're better than New Mexico.
Yeah, UTEP they were a bowl team last year, weren't they? But like just barely.
Like UTEP somehow gets a ton of like talent in like really good spots. They just don't get it across the board.
Yeah.
They'll get like 2 or 3 players and you're like, yeah, that guy should be playing somewhere else. And then they end up going and playing somewhere else. So
well, they lost last year to UTEP 20-13 in September. So I mean, I think it's a fair point to say they lose. This feels like one of the closer games compared to what.
Well, they were probably at UTEP last year, right?
Yes.
So now they're at home. They get them at home, which I don't know if that makes a huge difference because I don't know if that trip's even but like an hour. But
yeah, give me El Paso here.
I'll take you. Yeah, UTEP. Then I think obviously they lose at LSU.
And
they get the night game in Death Valley. That's
good luck with that.
LSU has resorted to playing, instead of playing Alabama at night, they're going to play New Mexico at night.
Fall from grace.
On the SEC network. All right. Then they go at UNLV. I feel like if there's a win on their schedule that I'm comfortable giving, it's this game or the next one. With at UNLV or Wyoming.
I think loss here.
At UNLV?
At UNLV.
They beat Wyoming last year 14-3 at Wyoming.
Wyoming's pretty bad. Like
they lost everybody, yeah.
So I think we go loss with UNLV and a win against Wyoming at home. And then I think they could run it back at New Mexico State.
Okay. So
I mean, both of those teams are pretty garbage, right? So
we have them beating Maine, then losing 4 in a row, and then beating Wyoming, and then beating New Mexico State. Then they're on a high of a 2-game winning streak when they play Fresno, and they get brought back down to earth, right?
Yeah.
By getting beat 54-7. So then they go bye week at Utah State. It's a loss, I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
the way we talk about Utah State, they're going to kill everybody.
Losses all the way through here.
And at Air Force, that's a tough one for anybody. Air Force is a team that always plays down to bad teams, and then they play up to good teams. They give the good teams trouble, but they let the bad teams stay in it.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. Like they always hang tough with like Colorado State, Boise. Like they always give them a game, and then you'll see them playing against New Mexico or Wyoming, and it's a 1 touchdown game with like 5 minutes to go, and you're like, how are they not demolishing that team? But I think I got to give them a loss at Air Force. San Diego State, I got to give them a loss. And then at Colorado State, I got to get them a loss. So I don't see that 3 games.
3 games, yep.
That's just what they won last year. Let me go ahead and update New Mexico.
I don't have a win totals for them, unfortunately.
I imagine it's probably 3.5 because I think where it's going to tilt is that 3-game run, UNLV, Wyoming, New Mexico State. Like that's the 3 games. If they win all 3 of those, then they go over. And then if not, they're going under. So, okay. Now we're done with New Mexico. I think we're going to do Temple, right?
Temple's pretty interesting. While you're pulling it up, I got to run and grab my dog from being outside. This could be interesting.
Interesting.
Prep yourself.
All right, guys. While Chris is gone, I want to talk about the I guess if you're not in the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord. There's a link. We've shared it on Twitter the other day. I think I posted it, or it's on there. They join the Discord. We talk about a lot of stuff. We take suggestions for the next podcasts and topics and all that stuff. So if you guys want to do that, please do. Also subscribe, like, comment, review, do all that cool stuff. It'll help us out.
That was like one of those plugs you hear on like, a real podcast where it's like brought to you. Like,
yeah.
Pardon the 30-second interruption.
Yeah. I had to fill the air. I was like kind of winging it. And I'm like, you know what? I should probably get people to like join the Discord. And
yeah, we don't push
like
that as much.
Right. Like, I don't want to like spam people and say, oh, join the Discord. But like, it's really the easiest way for us to communicate with everybody about upcoming pods, upcoming topics that we're going to talk about. We take suggestions. It's like take the mailbag type stuff in the Discord. So
we need to do a mailbag coming up. We need to get one of those coming up.
We actually should probably create a mailbag channel in the Discord into where it leaves it. I have to work on that. I'm not like an expert in Discord. I've been kind of learning, but I do like how you can organize everything into different channels and stuff. As long as everybody stays on topic with it. Some people like to just post whatever, wherever. But okay, back to the topic at hand. Temple.
Yeah, so Temple's interesting. The reason why I brought them up was because Moxley brought up Quincy Patterson,
right?
My former VT guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're probably not going to be good at all, but that's an interesting team to talk about. You know, Quincy Patterson's probably not going to be all that relevant, but I had made mention to Moxley that if they lean in to Patterson, like running the football all the time, he could be an intriguing option. I don't know how successful he would be. But he's a big frame. He runs pretty well, and he can't throw for anything. So I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, do you think he wins the job over Dwayne Mathis or Dewan Mathis?
I think it's a good possibility.
I think so, too.
What do they got to lose?
Right.
I mean, like, you already lost with him. Like, if this guy shows you something different, I feel like you've got to give him that chance. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it changes their outcome much, but I'm just looking at their record last year. So they were 3-9 total, 1-7 in the conference. And I'm just going to pull up their. I don't want to change this thing we're sharing here. I want to pull it up on here so I can have it side by side. So their 3 wins were at Akron. They beat Wagner, and then they beat Memphis by 3 points somehow, which was kind of wild because they didn't win another game after that. They lost like 7 in a row to close out.
Yeah, they start off 3-2, but got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you're thinking bowl game at this point, and then you just Cincinnati. It's like almost Cincinnati just like crushed their spirit.
Because, they got shellacked in pretty much every game afterwards too. It wasn't even like it was close. They got shellacked.
Not one game was within 3 scores. So yeah, that was pretty rough. But this year's a new year, and you open up at Duke. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Duke. I don't think they're great, but I don't see Temple going into Duke and beating them.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, like Duke's going to be probably a 4 to 6 win team.
Yeah, 6 if they're lucky. Have a couple things go their way, but you're looking 4 to 6. Yeah. What's their actual win? What's Duke's win total?
I literally was just trying to pull that up.
Like 5.5. It's probably about 5.5. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but
Duke's is 3.5 with heavy juice on the under.
So the one of their 3 wins that they're saying is probably this one.
Well, they probably play NCA&T. They play this one.
We're going to add Duke. As a matter of fact, we're doing 6 teams. We were going to do 5. We're going to do 6. We're going to throw Duke on the back end of this. But I don't think Temple goes in and beats Duke. Unless there's something that Quincy Patterson's just the next Lamar Jackson and just wins the Heisman type level play. I don't think they're beating Duke.
Well, what's really could be interesting is that they could start with Mathis and just because he's like the guy that was there last year. And I think he's pretty bad, right? Like I think their best season is if Patterson is the quarterback and is better than people think. Like Mathis is not good and we know what we're getting, but I think Patterson, there's a shot. So I think it's a real strong likelihood that, they come in there and have Mathis at quarterback. And even if they are the better team at the end of the season with Patterson, they have Mathis going in this one. So I would say L, but
yeah, I'm going to say L.
Not an exciting game.
So then they get Lafayette. I got to give them the win there.
That's a win. Yeah, that's a win.
Rutgers homecoming. God, what a terrible. I mean,
they got waxed last year.
Yeah, by like 50, right? 60. They opened up at Rutgers last year and lost by damn near 50. I don't think it's much different this year. I think it's going to be pretty similar. And you name this homecoming the third week of the season.
They're just getting it out of the way.
Like I feel like I would have rather done it against Tulsa.
Well, spirits are high coming off a near guaranteed win, and they haven't been crushed yet.
But why wouldn't you have done it the next week?
That's a great question.
Against UMass,
I don't know. Rutgers is pretty close. Maybe there's some sort of rival. We should have had Andrew here to discuss potential Rutgers rivalry.
Well, just so everybody knows, we'll be doing the Rutgers one with Andrew.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
He's our Rutgers guy. I think he lives next door to the campus or something like that.
But he's actually a student.
Okay, so win against Lafayette, loss against Rutgers, win against UMass. I would have to think, right?
Yeah.
Then they get at Memphis. I don't think they come here and beat them.
I mean, that's a revenge game for Memphis.
Yeah.
They're not going to win. It's a revenge tour for them.
It's in Memphis. I don't think they beat Memphis. No way. Then they get the bye at UCF. It's got to be a loss.
Yep.
Tulsa, home game. I don't know. Because
I'd like to think Tulsa wins.
Yeah, I just don't know. Let me pull up Tulsa just so we can not look like idiots. Tulsa was 7-6 last year. 5-3 in the conference. And come on, load up. So last year Tulsa they lost their first 3 games. They lost to UC Davis to start the season. Lost to Oklahoma State by 5, and then lost to Ohio State by 21. Then they won 5 of their last 8. So
they remember now. Temple lost Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue, the receiver that's now at Virginia Tech.
Well, so check this out. So all of their games last year, win or loss, were close for the most part. They beat Arkansas State by 7. And they lost to Houston pretty big. Beat Memphis by 6. Beat South Florida by 1. Lost to Navy by 3. Lost to Cincinnati by 8. Beat Tulane by 7 in overtime. They lost big to Temple. I'm sorry, they beat Temple last year. They killed Temple last year, 44-10. I think that's our tiebreaker.
Tulsa I would lean for sure at Tulsa there.
I mean, all of their games for the most part were really close, outside of the Temple game in Houston. That's it.
Yeah.
So even the good teams, they played well. So yeah, Tulsa. It's a loss to Tulsa at Navy.
I just can't put a bad team against a team like Navy, Army, Air Force that does the triple option.
What they're going to give you.
They're not going to stop them.
Like even a bad Navy team is going to give a team trouble because they're still going to run a triple option that you don't prepare for. And I'm trying to see. Navy beat Temple by 24 points last year.
Yeah, to end the year
at Temple. So that's a loss at Navy. South Florida, I gotta give them probably a loss there too.
Yeah, they have.
Although South Florida was worse than Temple, they were 2-10 last year.
Yeah, but people are decently high on USF, the future of their program.
And what's crazy? Listen.
So
South Florida won 2 games last year. They beat Florida A&M. Do you know who their other win was?
I was going to say Temple, but they didn't play
Temple. It's Temple.
Did they?
It's Temple.
Oh, it's not spelled out. So
they beat Temple by 20, and they lost. They beat Florida A&M, and they beat Temple. Every other game they lost.
I love it.
So South Florida win. They lost to South Florida. So South Florida wins. At Houston's a loss. Cincinnati's a loss. And then the East Carolina, probably a loss, right? We're going to go, I don't know. So we're giving them 2 wins.
Yeah.
Best case scenario 3 that they get Duke, that they somehow clip Duke week 1,
or maybe USF, maybe Rutgers.
No way.
Low probability, but those are the other close to
Tulsa,
winnable games.
Like I think the stretch that they have a chance to win 1, maybe 2 if they were lucky, is the Tulsa Navy USF stretch right there, because they're not beating Central Florida and they're not going to beat Houston, or Cincinnati or Memphis. I think we got it. We're giving them 2.
Yeah,
for
we're
sure.
Giving them 2.
Lafayette and UMass. God, I don't know that that's. I think they got to win more than 2 games, right?
No, man. They won 3 last year.
They won 3 last year, and they lucked into beating Memphis. Wasn't that the one where Memphis missed a field goal to tie it or something?
Probably, but that's not.
Yeah,
it's not my territory, so I don't.
Yeah, well, so we're gonna give them 2.
We're giving them 2.
God, all right, 2.
Someone's got to lose games, and we just have decided that Temple's gonna be it.
And we don't cross-check our picks either. So
we never do that.
So a month from now, we might do a team. We might be Tulsa. I mean, oh yeah, they're going to lose to Temple. No problem.
We want Akron, right?
Akron. That's the one I was looking for. Okay.
Joe Moorhead.
Yes. And the schedule is not very kind to Akron.
There is some kindness to it, but it's not a lot.
Yeah. They got to get that win. They start off at St. Francis U on a Thursday. So that's a win. At Michigan State, at Tennessee is loss. I think we're both pretty comfortable in saying that.
Yeah.
At Liberty, loss, right?
Yeah.
So this is where it gets kind of interesting. The MAC schedule picks up. Bowling Green's terrible, from what I have remembered.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. I mean, what does Akron have, right? They have Irons, who's pretty intriguing.
Yeah.
John Norrells is intriguing. They lost receivers, which is a bummer. But they have a lot of returning guys. I think that Tony Grimes guy is back, and he had flashes of decency. So maybe he does well with full load. But they beat Bowling Green last year by 2 touchdowns. So
which is interesting. At Bowling Green too, and it was one of their 2 wins.
Yeah, so I think we can give them a win against Bowling Green.
Give them a win against Bowling Green.
I don't think people are going to. They're not going to come banging down our doors for doing that, which is nice.
They're like, no, you guys lose all credibility. All right. Then they go at Ohio. They lost by 17 last year to Ohio. And Ohio only won 3 games. Yeah, so if you look at that division, the MAC East, it's Ohio, Bowling Green, Buffalo, and Akron all won between 3 or 4 and 2 games. They're all terrible. And it looks like they all had their wins against each other. So Akron beat Bowling Green.
They just beat up on each other.
Akron beat Bowling Green, then lost to Ohio. Ohio probably lost to Bowling Green. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna pull it up just to verify, see how the wins actually shook out. So Ohio beat Akron, lost to Bowling Green. They did. And lost to Buffalo. So this is just a coin flip, I think. They lost last year. They get at Ohio. I think Ohio wins.
Yeah, give me Ohio.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah,
can't do it.
I think the Bowling Green, Ohio, Buffalo games, those 3 games that they have on the schedule, are going to be kind of coin flips. They're going to go either way, and the other ones like Central Michigan, I don't think they beat Central.
Nope.
I don't think they beat Kent State.
Nope.
And Miami, Ohio, I don't think they beat them. Hippenhammer by himself.
Yeah.
So they go bye week. Eastern Michigan, I don't think they beat them either. Because if you look at the MAC West, so check this out. I told you the MAC East was pretty terrible. The MAC West, the worst team in the division was 6-7, and it was Ball State. So they were all 6 to 9 win teams on that side.
Yeah.
So I think they lose to Eastern. And then Buffalo's another coin flip. I'm going to give them the win against Buffalo.
I think that's a possibility. Buffalo is on a serious downturn, it feels like.
Yeah. Didn't that one of their quarterback, didn't he leave to go to, like, where did he go?
Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern. That was somewhere
Van
down
Treese,
south.
yeah. So it's Matt Myers now. And
yeah.
That's a one-dimensional
I'm going to give them that. We gave them the loss against Ohio. I'll just give them the win against Buffalo.
That's fine with me.
And then at Northern Illinois, they lose that one. And I want to correct what I said earlier. Northern Illinois was actually good last year. I was thinking of
that's like Rakovic and all those guys. Yeah.
All right. So as far as that's concerned, we have 1, 2,
3.
3 wins.
3 with Buffalo.
3 with Buffalo. Oy. Hey, 3. That's.
I mean, we knew this coming in, right? That's why
these are the bottom feeders.
That's why we're doing these today. Is
the bottom feeder teams. We have 2 more because we're going to do 5 and then we're going to do 6. So we have 1 that we planned originally, and we'll go ahead and bring them up. In the Big Ten, Northwestern. Now, they've been pretty awful the last couple years, right?
Hard to watch. To watch. Last year, they kind of had bad luck with Cam Porter getting hurt.
Yeah.
And he had looked really solid I think he was a true freshman. Mm-hmm. So that's like it's just a bummer right there.
It's like a gut punch to start the year.
Yeah, and they just have had really bad quarterback play. Just the worst quarterback play.
Like I thought that was it. Hunter Johnson was going to like change them, and then he transfer back.
He transferred back to Clemson. Which
that's how bad it was at Northwestern.
Like no. Let me just get back into coach. I think he's like prepping himself to coach, essentially, right?
Oh man, that's wild. So Northwestern was 1-8 in the Big Ten. They were 3-9 overall, and ironically, so was Nebraska. The exact same record: 1-8 in the conference, 3-9 overall. The only thing is, Nebraska was in the conference. Actually, their point differential was 0. Like they gave up as many points as they scored. Northwestern, not so much. They were
it's because Nebraska waxed Northwestern 56-7 last year. So they have like that offense that like randomly just was awesome.
So they open up with Nebraska in Ireland, which I don't think that really matters. I think it's just which team do you think? I think I'm going to lean Nebraska.
Yeah, I would definitely lean Nebraska. Like Casey Thompson's new quarterback. I mean, I think everybody likes Adrian Martinez more, but he's not like that much a drop off. He's capable. He's definitely way better than any quarterback Northwestern has.
Right. So then they get a bye week coming back from Ireland. They need the rest, and then they play Duke.
Duke won last year 30-23.
They get them at home. Northwestern gets them at home. Let's give them the win.
I think so.
Let's give them the win against Duke because we already looked at Duke. We're going to do Duke next, by the way.
So perfect timing.
Perfect, right. So give them the win against Duke. Give them the win against Southern Illinois.
Yep.
Then it's Miami of Ohio, which I'm going to give them a loss there.
I will tell you.
That's a tough one.
I feel kind of split. But, if you look at how Northwestern did last year, one of their wins was against Ohio. But Ohio was really bad. So,
like Miami of Ohio was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think they were like 7-6 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm good with Miami, Ohio. Those MAC schools try to really get up for these winnable type power.
Well, and where Northwestern's going to have the advantage would be in the interior. Their offensive line is just going to be bigger and better than Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio might have better skill players, though, overall. So it really, I think it comes down to like if the offensive line can dominate Miami of Ohio, they have the running backs that can take advantage of it, in theory. But I still think Miami of Ohio is a good enough team to win there. So we're going to give them a loss to Miami, Ohio. And they go at Penn State, loss. Yep. We've done Penn State already. I think we had to have given them a win.
Yep.
Wisconsin for homecoming. I think that's a battering.
Yep.
They get an off week at Maryland. I'm going to say loss.
Yeah, I mean this is where it gets ugly.
Maryland can put up a lot of points. They might give up some points, but they're going to score a lot. And then at Iowa, loss. Ohio State, loss. At Minnesota, gonna say loss. At Purdue, gonna say loss.
Yep.
Illinois to close out. If there's a game they're gonna win after Southern Illinois, it's probably that one.
This is definitely the best shot at a win in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but they lost last year by 30 to Illinois.
I lean Illinois. I think they just have who's the best player on the field.
Yeah,
probably Chase Brown.
And Bielema just gonna run all over them.
Yeah,
it's gonna look like Wisconsin light.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Ironically, last year Northwestern, like they lost to Iowa, but they only lost by 5 points, 17-12.
Now the real question is, did they kick 4 field goals or did they miss 2 extra points?
I'm gonna look that up, but I'm not gonna do that. But what's funny is they beat Rutgers last year, and we just talked about Rutgers killing. What was the team we just did? Temple, right? They beat Temple like by 50. Then they lose to Northwestern by 21-7. So I think lost there too. So what's that? 2 wins? No, we give them to Duke and Southern Illinois, and the Duke one's kind of iffy.
Yeah, but I think we went against them.
Yeah,
the
Miami, Ohio.
Yeah. Which, by the way, what do you think this number is on Northwestern?
2.5,
4.5.
Oh, let's go hammer the under now.
Only minus 130.
Okay, if you're seriously thinking, okay, to get even to 4, where is? Okay, we give them Miami, Ohio. They beat them, so they win Duke, Southern Illinois, and Miami of Ohio. There's 3.
Illinois is that 4th.
4, but that still doesn't get you over.
Nebraska is got to be that 5th.
God, because they're not beating any of these 5 teams right here. 6 teams, 7 teams. Penn State through Purdue, I don't see them beating any of those teams. And quite frankly, Illinois, I don't see that. Like, they're going to have lost 7 in a row going into Illinois. Like, they're going to be just completely deflated. They're going to lose that game too. Yuck. So we said 2, right?
2. That's where we landed on.
Woo, boy. All right, so now we'll do Duke. And this will be our last one for today. And that'll be 6 teams we knocked out today. Maybe next weekend we can do 5, 6 more. All right, so we have them playing Temple week 1, beating Temple week 1.
Right, we said beating, yep.
Then they go at Northwestern, which we have them losing.
Loss, yep.
Then they beat North Carolina A&T, right? Win.
Yep.
At Kansas. Oof.
I think I lean Kansas.
I do too. I think I do too.
They have a good, I think, in terms of Kansas football, they have a good thing going.
Yeah. And they're at home. Yeah.
So
I think Kansas. I'd lean Kansas too. Virginia, loss.
Yep.
At Georgia Tech. Now, that's one that they might steal.
Yeah, like the random, wait a second, how did this just happen?
Yeah. I don't think Georgia Tech's going to scare anybody. I think that's like Gibbs is gone. Like their home run hitter is gone. So
yeah.
If Duke's going to win a game, let's go ahead and give them a win.
Let's sneak it in there?
Yeah, sneak it in there. So they have a win against hold on. We have the win
Temple,
North Carolina,
A&T, and Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech. Okay, so then they get North Carolina, loss.
Yep.
At Miami. Surprisingly, like, don't they usually play them well somehow?
They got smacked by Miami last year.
Did they? Okay. Yeah. I'm actually going to pull up their. So they were 3-9 last year, so they were pretty bad.
They won the 3 early last year. They even lost to Charlotte last year. So,
Yeah, they lost to Charlotte week 1, beat A&T, Northwestern, Kansas. They beat Kansas pretty good last year. They had them at home, but they don't
that
have.
Was like they weren't using Devin Neal that
But
much.
the problem is they don't have Durant or Bobo, the two guys that led them in rushing and receiving.
And I think Holmberg transferred to like FIU
right.
or
so it's
FAU.
a whole new offense for them.
Yeah,
I'm not betting on that. So yeah, they'll lose to Kansas, Virginia. We'll give them Georgia Tech. They lost by 4 last year. I think they can turn that around. So Miami, they got spanked. Yeah, loss. They get the bye week at Boston College.
Nope.
Loss.
Don't even think about it.
Virginia Tech.
We're not that bad. Although Duke randomly has done us dirty.
No, they got beat
it's not
last year by like 30 to Virginia Tech. So loss at Pitt, loss. Then Wake Forest is a loss. So we have them winning, what, 3?
3. And their total was 3.5.
And that's what's giving them the win against Georgia Tech. Right? They lose to Northwestern, but they beat Georgia Tech. Okay. Yep. So that's 3.
What's 3?
So Duke. So in recap, I'm going to recap all the ones that we've done before we get off of here. Did it? Oop, that's not what you want to see. So anyway, our recap, as a matter of fact, I'll just throw this over there and you guys can just see it. Is that showing or no? Yeah, here we go. So as you guys can see, I need to zoom it in, huh? Can you see that, Chris?
Yep.
All right. Akron, 3 wins. Arizona State with 5. Arkansas with 8. Auburn with 5. Duke with 3. Georgia with 11. Kent State with 8. Louisiana, Lafayette would be 10. Miami, Florida is 9. NC State's 9. New Mexico 3. Northwestern 2. Penn State 8. San Diego State 8. San Jose State 7. Southern Miss 6. Temple 2. Texas Tech 3. Vanderbilt 2. Washington State 4. And Wisconsin 9. So if you guys listening have any teams you want us to cover, please ping them in the Discord or hit us up on Twitter, and we will definitely do that next week or the next time we do it. We normally throw 3 at the end of a pod episode, but this one's just special to kind of knock out some extra teams. So that's all we got for today. So next pod. See you guys later.
See you guys.